Welcome back. You're here with Crystal from Crystal Clear Coaching, and yeah, we are now on the 21st of February 2026. Yeah, so past couple of days I've been talking about a couple of different modalities I work with as a coach. First I talked about timeline therapy, a NLP, Neuro-Linguistics Programming tool, which is one of my favourite tools to use to help discover what's going on in the psyche that has been with us probably since we were between 3 and 7 years old, and then just built upon since then, as to how we code and see the world. And then I also talked about somatic therapy, which is soma means the body, and whatever we store and feel within our body, and our energy body, our emotional body, makes like this massive difference if we can actually feel into what's going on in our soma and find ways to find safety in our bodies. Notice where the disconnect is in part of your body that you don't feel safe in, and find ways to release any bogged down heavy energy that you might have in your body. And I have tools to help you do that, that can just disappear things that have been in your energetic body, your emotional body, for years, sometimes even decades, even if it was there for like a week or two, sometimes that's enough. You want to be done with it. But the stuff we've been holding on to, that's not serving us, that's bogging us down. Just think about what's in your body right now. What has been a condition in a certain area of your body for longer than you care to admit, and imagine if that disappeared. You just woke up tomorrow and it was pretty much good, if not all good. And that's the power of some of the tools I have within somatic therapy, is as willing and as open you are to coaching, and willing to go deep, the more that you will open the possibility that you could just release something that has been stuck in your soma for just yonks. And wouldn't that be a great day? Wouldn't that be a great day? So I just wanted to, just reiterating, but I wanted to talk a bit more into some other modalities I work in. But what's brilliant is that, again, I was trained through a program called Whole Coaching through my wonderful friend Marina Perry, and she's trained with so many people, places and organisations over the years that she's just put all her wealth and wisdom basically into this whole coaching program. So it's got the mind stuff, the body stuff, what's sitting in the body. I'm not doing any fitness with you per se, but she's actually a 25 years plus deep fitness professional as well. She's run health clubs and still does actually, and she brought Reformer Pilates to the Gold Coast, and in a group class, I should say, in that capacity, and she just has a thirst for knowledge that I do not know anyone else that is as deep as her, and she's just an angel. She's just the most lovely person. This is who I learned from. She's a total dynamo. How she does all the things she does in a day, I have no idea. I'm grateful for her that she does, because I've learned so much from her way of being. And I started loving up on my coach, and I just forgot what I was saying. Anyway, so yeah, there's so much I learned from her. Yeah, whole coaching, that's it. So she really tries to hit all the points, and she's always learning more too. And because I'm still I'm close friends with her, I've known her for a long time before I did the course with her. I know that she's coming from such a pure place and just a place of curiosity as to like, how can we help the human condition? How can we heal the human condition? How can we be healthy? How can we be vibrant, you know? And how can we also bring some magic into life and all that? So, okay, now that I've waxed poetic about how awesome she is, yeah, go follow her on Instagram if you feel called. That's at Marina Perry. At I am Marina Perry. MARINAPERRY, with the I am at the start, sorry. And you find her on Instagram. Yeah, usually it's like a lot of her incredible gym with the Hive on the Gold Coast for her these days, posted on there, but she'll sometimes chuck in a speaking conference she went and talked at, and she's done all sorts. Anyway, my point is, I was trained to look at the whole picture of what's going on in your life. So even if it's an area that maybe I'm not as deeply trained in, like for instance, I'm not trained in fitness at all, but she is, like, I still have aspects of understanding the basics of like, that's an important factor in life, for instance. Even if I am not the person to come to hit your fitness goals, I probably actually need to get some help there myself. But my point is, I understand that all parts affect the whole. As a coach, that's very much how I've been trained, and as much as we've learned all these incredible tools for the mind, for the body, for the energetics, for the family dynamics, for breath work, for, you know, all the different facets and corners of what she taught me through whole coaching certification, there is, you know, that all those tools separately are wonderful, but the way she's taught us to empower us is to actually just naturally flow with, we've trained hard enough and understood and studied hard enough to understand that we can just flow with intuition as to what each person in front of us needs at any given time. So I might start doing an NLP session and then find myself naturally guiding a visualization that feels into the soma, the body more, the emotional body, what's going on in there, what needs to be let go of. And we actually decide to switch off the thinking and the thoughts and the mind psychobabble, and we decide to just feel into it, because I can see sometimes that is just what the person needs. They just need space held for them to feel what they have been scared to feel, but also to know it's a safe space. And, you know, people who've been through serious traumas, they unfortunately happen to a lot of people. And even if, you know, the general consensus is that you haven't been through a serious trauma, there's still traumas that we've all been through that on our frame, our spectrum, they mean a lot. Like, that's our map of the world, and the hardest thing that ever happened to you compared to the best thing that ever happened to you, that's your spectrum, and so that's your complete range. And so to you, something that's here is like pretty damn bad, but to someone else whose spectrum is this wide, being there, they might not feel, it's like, oh, it's kind of shit, but it's fine, you know, like, because they've just got a wider map, they've gone through more, which, like, to like an outside perspective, you might think, well, the first person is just they're a bit sheltered or they just need to like suck it up or whatever. No, what's important is the perspective of the person that is going through the things, because the person that's gone through all the trauma, they might have just learnt to deal with it and just like soldier on, and whether that's serving them or not, we could dive into that, but they might just not make it such a big deal, so they just move through life and overcome things way faster because they chose to, at some point, to not make it a big deal. Maybe they didn't even choose it, just kind of was subconscious. They just didn't consider making it a big deal, and so they just power on through. And sometimes the first person who has a smaller spectrum, makes this one task that's just slightly on the further negative side in the middle, makes it mean so much that they end up spiraling themselves all the way down to the bottom of their spectrum. And then you get down to the bottom and it's hopeless, feeling hopeless, and that's never a fun place to be. When we hit hopelessness, it's hard to put the next foot forward. So my point is, like, it's the person's map that matters to how they're going to react to life, how they're going to see things and feel about things. And it actually doesn't matter how deep the trauma is or isn't in comparison to someone else. It's how deep it is to you, the person going through the things. So I never want anyone to be hard on themselves if they're like, well, I'm really fucking struggling with this thing, but then my mate Barry over there, he's gone through way worse, and yet he's fine. Like, or at least what I can see, he seems fine, and he just seems to be happy. And like, I mean, you don't know exactly what work Barry's done to get there. First off, even if he tells you quite a bit, you just don't know. But maybe it's just because his map is wider and he's just gone through it so many times that at the point that he's overcome it, and like, or he just doesn't think, he hasn't made it a thing. And honestly, no judgment if you do make something a thing that you didn't need to, because often we're just operating from what our younger selves coded as a belief to keep us in love and belonging and thus safe and surviving, and that probably was the right thing to do for that younger version of yourself. But it's learning when things are not serving you anymore, patterns that you have, subconscious or conscious patterns, habits, are not serving you. Then how can we look at it with curiosity to discover how we might shift that so that it does serve us, that we show up in ways that does serve us? Yeah. So yeah, being able to jump around and flow with what needs to happen in each session is the power of working with someone like me that is trained in so many wonderful deep modalities. What it would generally look like is some kind of visualization. To just trust that I'm going to take you through wherever you need to go. Whether it's the mind, the body, or the energetics, the soul, the spirit, the breath, or just delving into the dynamics of your family and life around you. There's so much we have to learn about ourselves, just purely ourselves. Like, yes, the human condition, but just like what's going on. It's like fascinating. It's crazy. You're with yourself. You're the one that can hear your innermost thoughts and feelings, and yet we can still be a mystery to ourselves. Isn't that kind of fascinating? I mean, clearly I'm kind of obsessed with this stuff because I always want to delve deeper and see, oh, why did I do that? Why did I start doing that? And I've been on this journey for a while. But I love it. I bring curiosity to it, and if something ever feels too heavy, I remind myself to bring curiosity to it, and then it can just be like a, oh, wouldn't that be interesting if we figured out why that's going on for us, why we're perpetuating that self-sabotage pattern or whatever it is. And then it just makes it lighter and easier to look at when it's curious. Yeah, this is why I'm such a big fan of Alice in Wonderland. I like a bit of whimsy, a bit of curiosity. Yeah, there's just so much to gain from understanding ourselves better, or understanding ourselves better, you could say. So we don't stand under, we look inner. That makes sense, because we're all about tuning into us here at Crystal Clear Coaching. Yeah. So today I really just talked about all the different, like the powers of flowing with whole coaching. I was going to talk about more modalities, but I feel like that's actually a good spot, and I will talk about more on the next video. Yeah, stay tuned for next time, and I think I'll talk about family systems, the dynamics of the family, and how that can bring to light things that might be going on, patterns, mental patterns, felt feelings, physical patterns, what's been going on in the family system for generations past in your one, and what might go on in the future if nobody does anything about it to stop that pattern. Maybe there's good things still going on too, and we can continue to perpetuate that particular family trait. But if there's something that is not serving you or your family system, that means your family, then we have ways to stop that trajectory, stop that pattern. And again, it's I mentioned the other day about looking up your ancestry for, I mean, you could start with 100 years, but I think I was looking up to about 400 years ago, and any given person roughly has about 32,000 ancestors, like your parents, and then their parents, and then their parents, and you see how it grows back and back and back. All had to meet and interact, if you know what I mean, in order to create all the other ancestors that dribble down to the point that you were then made. Isn't that just crazy and such a miracle? Honestly, Google it and look up like an infographic of it, because it's just kind of blows your mind. It's just fascinating. Anyway, the beauty of whole coaching is that you're a whole and complete human being that, you know, might need different things on different days, and it depends what day we sit together that, or as to what might come up, because we don't see things how they are, we see them how we are. And some days I'll show up to a coaching session and I'm kind of just meh, and then sometimes nothing will really hugely come up. I'll have a nice time, find something interesting. Most of the time I go pretty deep, though I'm very open to going deep. Most of the time I will get some kind of new understanding or realization about myself. If I'm the one being coached, I'm saying. But yeah, some of the time it's not as powerful. Most of the time it is, though, because these tools are so good. If it's not as powerful, it's usually because I've already delved into that topic before, and maybe I just need to remind myself. And so it's like, oh yeah, I've done this, and now I'm annoyed at myself because I'd actually discovered this about myself already, and I haven't actually done anything about it. So it's now slightly spiraling, and a bit of shame that I haven't done anything about it. But yeah, and then there's days where it just hits you at the right time. And, you know, I could so easily, as your coach, choose so many different tools. But I've learnt to trust that whatever comes up, whatever I choose as a tool, and I get feedback if somebody wants to do a particular tool, always happy to facilitate that. But sometimes you're just so ripe for something to come up, and it will come up regardless of whatever visualization tool or modality we're doing. It'll come up in its own way within that. So yeah, powerful stuff. It's so beautiful to see someone have a realization that is like life-changing for them too. You know, something that's been holding them back for so long, and they've just realized, it's brought to conscious light, and they're just like, oh my god, how did I not see this before? It's been in my body, my psyche, my energetic field this whole time, and I didn't see it. Anyway, I'll leave it there for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. I'm going to go see Marianne Williamson speak tomorrow in Brisbane, so I'm very excited for that. She's a brilliant spiritual teacher and author. I followed her for a wee while now, but she's also a huge advocate for the betterment of America, and she's actually run for president of the United States a couple of times. So she understands the political side of things pretty well, and she's also a spiritual teacher, which I think would be great for America instead of what's going on there right now. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now. My point is, I'm excited to see her, and yeah, I will hopefully come on with a bit of an update in tomorrow's episode, there we go. I have episodes now. Isn't that exciting, guys? Alright, much love, bye!